Hello there, H+III+T. It's about that dang on time, gosh dang it. Welcome to another edition of my Knicks. And this is the summertime edition of the Foolish, just because we are here to entertain you throughout the off-season, gosh dang, because there's no games. And for a channel like me, talking about is the Knicks. It's some hard times in the animal kingdom, but that's not even there. Before we go into what you see in the title of the video is, gosh dang, and yes, it is finally about that dang on time. I got three things for you. Number one, rest in peace, XXXTentacion, gosh dang it. I'm choosing to be positive and happy on camera instead of being depressed because I feel like that's what he wants us to do. That's not here or there. Number two, shout out to the Jeremy Lin shirt, gosh dang. Yes! I was mildly here for Linsanity. I say mildly because I never liked him, but we should have kept him at least another year. Even though he was a bum, he was a bum. And everybody want to forget how he was hiding from LeBron and the Heat in the playoffs. Woodson said he was 80% ready to go, but he decided to sit. I don't agree with the switch for Felton, but you know what? It had to be done, gosh dang it. And number three, SeverTheBond got some new merch, gosh dang it. Go check out that foolishness, SeverTheBondShop.com. Go get you some new merch. Side note, are you liking this one? Are you liking this one? I love this so I don't know why. Maybe it's because it just makes me think of the Knicks. I don't know, but I like this one a lot. I'm gonna start every one of these with it because I just love it. I love it. I don't like the new graphics MSG is doing, but I do like this part. And it's like in my mind, I just hear da 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 da. I just immediately think of that. But that's not here or there. I'm gonna add a fourth. Shout out to Mr. AC in the background because it's 90 degrees where I live, but that's not here or there. Anyway, today we're here to have this conversation, gosh dang it, and we've addressed this man on a few different occasions, but I feel like this time it needs to be about that dang on time, gosh dang it. Now, towards the beginning of the year, Mr. Stephen A. Smith, he had some rather not nice things to say about everyone's favorite French assassin, gosh dang it, Frank Ntilikina. First of all, what I have done right now is more than what Stephen A. Smith was able to do 3 weeks into the season. And you're sitting there asking yourself, H+III+T, what is it that you can do right now that he couldn't do then? Is it the green screen chart? Because I feel like ESPN and everyone in Connecticut and stuff has the technological advancements to be better than you in that. No, saying his last name. Yes, Stephen A. Smith, self-proclaimed New York Knicks fan, didn't know how to say Frank Ntilikina 2 weeks into, and that's a three, hold up, two weeks into the season, this man couldn't say Frank Ntilikina. Now, we had been drafted the man, we had coverage of the situation, but self-proclaimed New York Knicks advocate, Stephen A. Smith, couldn't say Frank Ntilikina. So that's number one, but we'll get into the dang on foolishness. This man had very not nice things to say about him, saying he wasn't impressed, this wasn't exactly what we wanted out of the draft ball, but just recklessly slaughtering the team, saying outside of Kristaps Porzingis, there was no one on the team to score or be of any use. Now this is 2 weeks into the season, back when we thought we were making the playoffs. Back when freaking KP was like Jordan. Remember the first like 5 games? He had all of us fooled, gosh dang it. This man, 2 weeks into the season, said that outside of Kristaps Porzingis, there was no one else on the team that was worth talking about or having any faith in. He specifically said that he was predicting that Frank Ntilikina would be a bust, gosh dang. Now, he didn't say that word for word, but that's what the man was implying. He said Frank Ntilikina, dang on Frankie, wasn't gonna be nothing. That's what he said. On some Monique from Precious, don't nobody want you, don't nobody need you. That's what this man said about Frankie. Now, that very night, Frank Ntilikina had 8 steals. Was it steals or assists? One of the two, I can't remember, but it was 8 something. It was more than 8 points, hush. It was either 8 steals or 8 assists. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was steals because that feels more impressive. I can't remember. I gotta go back and look. But it was 8 something the very day And I'm not talking about First Take was in the morning and this happened that night. I'm saying Frankie was going off. And the next day, this man got something negative to say. Now, that was in the beginning of the season, where I can honestly understand it's pretty easy to talk that trash, gosh dang it. But what has me bothered, a day before the draft, that the narrative that Stephen A. Smith, self-proclaimed New York Knicks fan, Stephen A. Smith, had the audacity to say going into the draft, not only should the New York Knicks grab that Trae Young dude, not only that we would be foolish, Scott Perry and all them, Steve Mills and company, no Justin Bieber, would be fools to not select Trae Young if he is available. But that the reasoning behind this, because again, I'll sit here and scream 8 guards until I can't scream anymore, I guess. But he said the reasoning behind this, not because he's not sold on Moutier, because no one is, trust me. Moutier's not sold on Moutier. Not because he's not sold on the answer, Trey Burke! Not that. No. This man said because Frank Ntilikina isn't that good.
Can I make your evening crawl? Can I make your bedroom wall? Put your lyrics as I stall. Your heroes fall, your jaw falls. Can I make your evening crawl?
Mr. Stephen A. Smith. What freaking games were you watching, you bum? Now listen, I refrain from going at Mr. Stephen A. Smith because I respect his opinions. I respect his shtick. I get what he does. He's an antagonizer. This is what I get it. But there is just a line. There's just a line. You just can't there's just a line. And I'm not talking of credibility. I'm just saying there's a line where you just gotta admit, you know what? I don't follow the Knicks like that. And it's okay. That's okay. What did I say during all the playoff coverage I did against my will? I did not want to do any of that. But all the playoff coverage that I did throughout all the live streams, I said, and I did this when we did Prediction King, which I didn't want to do Prediction King, gosh dang it, but I did it anyway. All these times that I talk about a team or a player that's not on the Knicks or that is not the Knicks, I always start out by saying, this is just my opinion. What the job do I know? I'm just a salty Knicks fan. I make that clear. When I made the video on Lonzo Ball and his freaking mixtape, gosh dang it, I said on multiple occasions, I'm not a Lakers fan. I don't know what's going on, guys. The same reason why I'm not beating into the ground how imperative I feel it is that we are aggressive in pursuing Kawhi Leonard, gosh dang it, because I'm not a Spurs fan. I don't know what's going on that side of the fence. I'm here just to talk about the Knicks and what seems realistic and what we got going on over here, gosh dang it, because I am willing to admit, I am not too proud, I'm willing to admit my shortcomings. Pause. Listen, Stephen A., you gotta cover a lot of stuff. You gotta be knowledgeable on football, not just the soccer kind, gosh dang it, but the American pigskin joint, gosh dang it. I'd kick, but I'm not wearing pants, and y'all don't need to see all that. Or maybe you would like to, but you can't, gosh dang it. Off topic. Listen, I understand you got a lot of things you got to cover, gosh dang it. 1 second, Will Kane is challenging you on the dang on Stanley Cup. You got to pretend like you care about hockey, gosh dang. I understand there's multiple opinions and different channels of things that you have to speak on. But when it comes time to talking about the New York Knicks, I don't feel like at this point you have any knowledge in this whatsoever. If you are going to call yourself a New York Knicks fan, and after the season we just watched, you're going to sit there and say Frank Ntilikina is not that good. And again, you can't even shoot him bail and try to say, oh, well, he's not the ideal point guard we wanted. We know that. We watched the season. That's why he starts at shooting guard next to Trey Burke. Remember the conversations us Knicks fans had during the season where we said, you know what? Maybe he's not exactly the greatest point guard of all time, but he should be replacing Courtney Lee at the shooting guard at some point this season. We all came to that conclusion. We all agree on it. I'm going to bring up for the 9 millionth time for week number 3 in a row. We have 7 other point guards. Gosh dang, we've got 7 other guards who can play the point position if need be. We're good. We're good, gosh dang it. I'm not going to go into too much depth or detail on this particular matter because I'm beating a dead horse, because I've talked about for literally 3 weeks in a row now all the great things about our team currently and how there are very small pieces that need to be changed, gosh dang it. If you don't keep up with the Knicks and you don't see the good things happening with our team right now, gosh dang it, then that's okay. You can own up to it. Just admit you don't know what you're talking about, gosh. I normally wouldn't even get upset at this type of foolishness, but to disrespect Frank Ntilikina like that with the amazing season he just had, regardless if it makes your news feed, gosh dang it, because we watched every single game unlike you bum. That's disrespectful on so many different levels. You want to disrespect Tim Hardaway Jr., fine, by all means continue, and while you're at it, tell that man he need to buy more than 3 suits, gosh dang it. Get up in there! But do not insult Frank Ntilikina. I want y'all, if you're still watching, gosh dang it, not only leave some penguins down in the comment because you know I'm a polar bear and I feed off of that foolishness, gosh dang it, but I need you to get this video over to Stephen A. Smith. Tweet it at ESPN, tweet it at First Take, do what you gotta do, gosh dang it. Get me on First Take. I need y'all to help me with this one. Get me on First Take. If it doesn't happen, it's whatever, but get me on First Take if you can. Because I have got to speak with this man and tell him that it is okay to admit that you are not a Knicks fan anymore. And you know what? Maybe that's being too much. Maybe that's being too much. He can still be a Knicks fan even though he clearly doesn't keep up with the team. But he needs to start every one of his little Knick foolishness things with, I don't really keep up with them, but. Put that little disclaimer on there, gosh dang it. You got lucky last year because of the Phil Jackson stuff. You can get away with not keeping up with the dynamics of the team because of Phil. You can always just go there. But now, when we are in literally the land of positivity, we got the New Day and the dang on front office throwing pancakes at people, gosh dang, because there's so much freaking positivity. To sit there and cast any form of negativity, and especially on poor Frank Ntilikina, who I think had a better rookie season than Kristaps, but that's not here nor there. It's despicable and it's disgusting, and I would love to talk to you, good son! Oh! Like, comment, subscribe, H+III+T, so Triple OG putting as much work as we do. Favorite, point them out. Let me know your foolishness down below, and I'll see you tomorrow night to cover the draft. Not going to do a live stream, just going to do the stuff that we normally do, do a quick vlog after every person we draft, and we will have an in-depth conversation of the draft and who it is that we got and what trades went down in next week's next video. So I'll see you then. Why is it so freaking hot? Agaga! Agaga!